Hi, my name's Buck Kieshel. I'm the owner of Kieshel Fine Art in Lincoln. We're up on 34th and Old Cheney. We deal, in really two different facets of art. We represent some of the top Nebraska living artists and other living artists from around the country. But probably nationally, the major crux of our business is in the States, or deceased artists with kind of a focus in Midwest regionalism. Depression-era art produced in this area of the country. Now, as far as art theft, I mean, you always have to do your due diligence. I figured I'll share with you a couple of horror stories, art theft-wise. First of all, there was recently a large Andy Warhol theft. Not really an artist that I deal in a great deal, but I'm kind of familiar with this because there was a gallery up in Omaha. They're no longer in business, unfortunately, but the owner, he brought in this large group of Warhol sports figures. There's Muhammad Ali, Chris Evert, Will Chamberlain, all of these large silk screens on canvas with oil. Wonderful, wonderful show. And then I just got an email about 2 weeks ago that this came from a collector in California. And apparently, a few weeks ago, he was cleaned out. His whole house, his whole Warhol collection was stolen from him. You get, as a dealer, you get these announcements through the FBI database. If you go onto the FBI website, there's a stolen artwork database that they have these things listed. Another horror story would be there was an antique dealer up in Boston, and I'm sorry, he was a map dealer up in Boston. And with maps, the thing is, a lot of the major maps were in these books and so forth, and if you go into the archives of a city like Boston, they will have this great wealth of maps and these original books, which they will actually let you view and so forth. And this guy had a little instrument in the system, and and he would cut the maps out, steal them, and then sell them on the market at very reduced rates. And did this for a number of years, and then this was discovered about 4 or 5 years ago. But up until then, he was considered one of the major map dealers. And I know, talking to some of my other map dealer counterparts, because I'm also in the IFPDA, International Fine Print Dealers Association. So you'll do these shows around the country, and you get put into these booths. You each get a booth, and the map people are often with the print people, so you kind of get the inside scoop on a lot of these stories. And anyway, he would go in and he would sell these things at far below rate. I mean, he sold a lot to other dealers too. And yeah, basically it was just this big sort of, for the next year or so, just trying to get everything back. And essentially, if you go through reputable art dealers, if something happens, there's accountability there. I mean, if something happens, you should be able to say, well, gee, this was just notified as fake, and you sold it to me, and they should immediately give you their money back, and then it just goes up the ladder, and that's kind of what happens. But that's not something that you want to get into the middle of as dealers. Now, with living artists, it's very simple. If you have someone that has a piece by this artist, I'm also a certified appraiser of fine art with the International Society of Appraisers. So oftentimes I will go into people's homes to do either a donation or an estate appraisal or an insurance appraisal, whatever the situation may be. And you basically take the works and you photograph them, you get the details, and you catalog them. And if you're dealing with living artists, I mean, it's much easier because you are able to talk to the artist. You're able to email the artist in an image and the details and say, is this your work? Tell me about it. And they'll say, pretty much always, they'll say yes, and it's from that period, and you'll get some information. Now, when you start, but when we deal with our estate work, you're dealing with deceased artists. Now, provenance is everything. With what we specialize in with the Midwest Regionalists, there were three. There was Grant Wood, you know, American Gothic. There was Thomas Hart Benton. He was from Missouri. And there's John Stewart Curry from Kansas. We represent the Curry estate for the Curry family, so you know the work that comes out of ours, out of the estate is, I mean, there's no better provenance. It's been cataloged, it's been there for years, so forth. With our with the Benton work, and this is actually a catalog which I've spent about this weekend stuffing several thousand of them because they're going to kind of go out next week. But this is Thomas Hart Benton, and this is a group of original works on paper which we were able to acquire directly from the Benton family. And you know, it's always, and that's kind of, our focus has always sort of been the Midwest Regionalists, because you want to focus on what's in your backyard. And you know, with this, it's great. You know, there's no problem with provenance or anything like this, but yet I deal a lot in Thomas Hart Benton, and he's a heavily faked artist, because you know his oils have now reached the point to where, you know, a moderately sized oil will be over $1 million to a few $1 million. And so when that happens, when you get a piece, and if a piece is offered to you, I mean, you know, it's the old rule of thumb. If it looks too good to be true, it probably is. You know, and I can't tell you how many people, you know, but also it's something to where I viewed so many Benton paintings and so many Benton drawings, and my mom started the business about 30 years ago, and she has a wonderful knowledge too, that oftentimes, you know, sometimes you'll get these things sent to you, because if someone has a Benton that they're trying to peddle, they'll normally bring it past, you know, it'll normally come up on my email, and I'll see an image, or they'll talk to me, and I'll just say, send me an image. And you know, you can, by looking at enough of an artist's work, you can really get an immediate sense for, you know, it doesn't look right, or it looks great. Now, if you get that immediate sense that it doesn't look right, and basically when I'm getting a piece in that doesn't have a rock solid provenance, I basically go forward with the idea that I more try to prove that it's not what it is than try to prove it is what it is. Because you know, you don't, because trust me, you know, these things come to you. If you know something comes to you and they're like, it's here, it's $1,000. You're like, oh my God, that thing's worth $15,000. There's a reason. And but trust me, you know, you want more than anything to have that $1,000 piece be just right. But you know, ultimately, if you're holding yourself out there as an expert, if you're, you know, selling to your clientele, it's your job to make sure that everything is right.